Hello, welcome to A Tale of Two Kings chess program. These programs are going to be held at COIS camps and classes. First, I want to just share a few of the benefits of chess, especially for kids, but grown-ups as well. Chess improves focus, it teaches important life skills, it also teaches critical thinking skills, it teaches sportsmanship, such as good winning, good losing, good learning. Especially, we like to think of you win, draw, or learn because every loss you have, you can learn from. And that's true with life too. When something goes wrong or you make a mistake, you learn from that and you keep going. They learn about choice and consequences. For every choice they make on the board, there's a consequence that goes with it. And that's like real life too. Whenever you make a choice between two or more things, there's different consequences or effects of each choice. And then also perseverance to keep on going. Even if you lose that first game or two in a tournament, just keep trying and keep going, learn from your mistakes and grow from your mistakes. This is just a few of the many, many life skills and benefits of chess. Chess has also been shown for older people to stave off dementia and just kind of keep our brains sharp. So chess is good really for everybody. Okay. Currently, A Tale of Two Kings is starting to use the Chess for Life curriculum, which was created by National Master Elliot Neff and his team up in the state of Washington. I've had the opportunity to meet Elliot Neff several times. I've read a book that he wrote and was able to do a review on it. It's called A Pawn's Journey. I highly recommend that book as it has chess as a background story, but also talks about incorporating many life skills into the progression of the character and the story. So again, A Pawn's Journey by Elliot Neff. You can get that on Amazon or elsewhere. I highly recommend it. Anyway, back to the curriculum. The curriculum is split up into actually 6 levels, each level named for a piece and increasing value. So we have the pawn level, the knight level, the bishop level, and the rook level. And these levels are shown here. There's also a queen and a king level, which we will hopefully grow into. But right now we are starting off our curriculum with these first 4 basic levels. And as we have students who progress through them, then hopefully we will eventually be adding the queen and king level to our little school here. So, for example, the pawn level is for students who are just being introduced to the game of chess. They may know how the pieces move. They may not know how the pieces move yet, but this level will get them from knowing virtually nothing about the game all the way up to being able to play in a tournament. The knight level, they start to learn the basics of tactics, and then they just progressively move up from there. For the month of June, where we are first introducing our curriculum, we are mostly going to focus on the pawn and knight level. However, we will be offering time slots for students to come in and be evaluated. And if we have students that we would actually recommend to the bishop or rook level, we will go ahead and create a class for that. It's just often we know that they may or may not already have their own coach, though they are more than welcome to attend with us as well. But again, we will definitely create a pawn and knight level class to begin with. We already have them on schedule for Tuesday nights of each of those levels. If your child is basically brand new to chess, they can safely go ahead and just enroll in the pawn level class. But if they do have some experience, maybe they've been in chess club for a year or two, they've played in some chess tournaments, then we would probably want to go ahead and evaluate them and see if it would be better to move them up to the knight level, or even they might be ready for the bishop or rook level. The first week of June, we will be dedicating to doing evaluations, though we will continue to do them from then on as well. And our first class will begin on June 9th, and we will come back to that a little bit in a moment. So, tools for the class. We have achievement charts, and actually the achievement chart is two-sided. So here in yellow, you can see the pawn level achievement chart. And what's nice about that is as kids are learning the different aspects of the game, they can see their progress and then they can show it to parents at the end. We then keep the achievement chart for the next week, but the last 15 minutes of the class time is used to go over the achievement charts with the students and let them show their parents. They can add stickers for subjects they've qualified on. And on the backside, in addition to the 30 skills for chess itself that they learn in each category, there's also a spot for if they've attended a tournament, and as well as 3 life skills, because we encourage life skills as well, such as patience, respect, perseverance, and several others. So each month we also focus on a life skill. And while we don't dwell on it during class itself, we refer to it and we point out when the students are doing really well with it. When they learn each subject, they're either introduced or they are reviewed or they are qualified on each topic. And most classes will go over at least 2 topics. The pond level is their beginning. They might go over a little bit more than 2 topics because they're a little bit more simple topics. So when they're first introduced, they'll be marked as introduced. And that means they know a little bit about the topic, but they might not be that confident or they still might be making some mistakes. And then when they're reviewed, that means that they've built up a little more confidence and overall they're generally getting it, but they haven't really mastered it. And then once they mastered it, they're qualified, and that's where we fill in the little star. We leave notes if they're close to it or they need to review it and that kind of thing. And then, but once they've qualified, they get to put a sticker on their chart. And when they are complete a chart on both sides, then they graduate to the next level class. And we kind of make a little celebration about it within our class. And generally speaking, if they'll get a certificate when they've passed it, and if they've also done the tournament during that time frame or met the tournament requirements. For pawn, it's just compete in one tournament. They don't have to place, just compete in it. Then they will also get a medal for their achievement. And it works this way up through each of the levels: pawn, knight, bishop, and so on. Some levels may require a few more tournaments, but for the pawn level, it's just one. In addition, we have activities within the class for them to learn. For example, games where they're learning how to just use the pawns. They might have races on who can set up the pieces the fastest, different variations of the games, or starting from different positions, end games, a whole plethora of activities to just practice the skills they've learned. And then they also have worksheets available, and you can see a sample of the pawn level topic 1 of workshop 3. And it's just talking about the basic pieces like circle the white knights or circle the white queen to just get familiarity. So with each class structure, assuming everything is going fine and we have assuming everything's going fine, what will happen is they'll be introduced to one topic, and then they will do an over the board, which means on the chessboard, activity to go with it. And then on the other topic, they may have a worksheet to go with it. And then we watch how they do on these activities to help us determine if they've introduced, reviewed, or qualified on a topic. Now, what's really cool is with our program, they're also going to be able to practice outside in between classes because we have a wonderful online program, and you can see that pictured on the bottom, where they can go ahead and practice or learn or compete. So they can play with other people within the system. They are not able to text each other or message each other, type to each other. So there's no issues on there regarding if someone's in the system that is questionable. This is a completely safe environment. Within the learning area, they actually have access to some of the videos that we learn from, some puzzles, some different things just to improve their game. And within the practice, there's different features of practicing. For example, At first they might play all their pieces against one piece of the other color, and then as they master that, then it'll increase to two pieces, and so on. So they're practicing winning with that advantage, and they get to move up through various levels. So it's a really awesome program, and that is included in your cost for your monthly tuition, as are the worksheets, the certificates, the medals for if they complete the tournament requirements as well. But we also recognize some students are not that interested in competing, so they would still get a certificate and move on to the next level. Maybe they don't want to compete until they move up another level and they feel a little more confident. And that's so a great many features. And then we also hold tournaments from time to time. Right now, because of the virus going around, our tournaments are online. But with the city reopening, we do feel confident that we can go ahead and start having classes in person. And again, we will begin that in June. Oops, slid back here. Okay. So what we offer at A Tale of Two Kings, which is located inside of Coy's Camps and Classes, and again, I'm Molly Coy, I'm the owner of both, is we offer classes, we offer camps, and we offer tournaments. Our tournaments within our own center are fairly small, and that because our center is about the size of a classroom. But we do occasionally have tournaments at other locations, and again, we can have online tournaments. And also, there are a great many tournaments put on throughout the city, primarily through SACA, which is the Southern Arizona Chess Association. And we do attend the tournaments with the kids, assuming no one's sick, but so far we have not missed a tournament that any of our kids have gone to, and we celebrate their successes. We do recognize some of the kids are also in chess clubs at their own school, so we allow them to celebrate with their own team, and then we make a big deal about it right after that. So they don't need to feel uncomfortable about coming to both of us. I got my experience as a coach at the school that I also teach at. So I am a certified teacher. I'm also fingerprint clearanced. And not only am I CPR first aid certified, but I'm also a certified instructor for CPR and first aid. So the kids are in pretty good hands with us. But yes, for the past, I would say 7 or 8 years, I have attended pretty much every tournament in Tucson, definitely every tournament for every scholastic tournament run by Southern Arizona Chess Association, and have put on many tournaments. I'm a certified tournament director, having even directed at high school nationals last year, and also at the Vegas Chess Festival and one of their Memorial Blitz events. So we do have a great deal of experience. This is a picture of a tournament that went on. Most of our tournaments are all ages, but we will probably have some that are for the kids only that are members of the academy. Okay, so safety. Right now with the coronavirus and now, we do recognize the need to show parents how we're a little bit more safe. So some of this is we're limiting class size to 6 to 8 kids. Originally it was going to be 10 to 12, but this way we can separate them more to separate tables. They don't need to sit right next to each other. Basically what this means is we hope to cap it at 6, but if we had 5 kids already and someone wanted to enroll their 2 or 3 kids, we would accept up to 8. But if we hit 6, we'd probably open up a new class to accept more students. Okay, we plan to have hand sanitizer available. We also have a sink in the classroom, so students can get up and wash their hands without missing any of the class time. Our bathroom is slightly separate, but we do have a sink in our class. We have the ability, we are willing to wear masks and face coverings for class. We will also be spraying off or sanitizing all the pieces in between classes and or switching out the pieces. We have plenty of chess sets, so probably between the 2 classes, we will switch out the pieces so that then we can fully clean them after every 2 classes, 2 to 3 classes, depending on how many sets we have. We do keep two, the instructor and an adult there pretty much all the time. Occasionally, it may just be one instructor, but for the most part, there's two. So somebody is always around, and we are insured. So for any injuries, not only are we insured, but the complex where our center is also insured. So I mean, it's very safe. We have an outside patio, and that parents can wait at. If there's space in the classroom itself, we will let parents hang out in the class. But for right now, because of limiting the amount of people in the room, we would probably have parents wait outside in the courtyard area, but we do have windows that you can see through, and there is no issue with you watching through the windows. I'm also considering the possibility of having a parent-child class if people are interested, because that way the parent and child can use the same chess set with no worries because they're in the same household. We are considering the idea of, if two kids are playing with each other, putting them diagonally at the same table and having them each with their own board and pieces, and then they move the matching pieces, which actually would probably help with hand-eye coordination, as well as them learning how to recognize the squares that they're moving the pieces to, which will ultimately help with chess notation, which is a requirement at tournaments, especially after 3rd grade. So we are looking at a variety of ways to keep everyone safe and healthy. So, and we are also open to other suggestions as well. Okay. And so that probably pretty much summarizes it. Right now we have a camp scheduled for June 8th and one scheduled for the following week. Each camp is $250 for the week. If you sign up for both, it's only $400. I'm sorry, $450. And that will include the full day being there. We will take the kids outside in the courtyard area for lunch and a couple little recess times. I am really hoping we can go ahead and schedule the camps. I am good with having the camps, but I do recognize people may not be ready to have their kids that close together for 8 hours yet. So, we hope to have them, but if not, the 1 hour classes, which actually are an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So kind of an hour of learning with some play, but we might go over an extra 15 minutes to review the achievement charts. Those classes might be more ideal, at least for starting back into the schools and businesses and everything opening up, and then maybe have to postpone a camp to end of summer, or even to a school break or something, or maybe 1-day camps. We'll have to see how that plays out, but we are accepting registrations. So the class is $89 a month, and that will include at least 4 weeks of class. So in June, even though we're starting June 9th, there's actually 5 Tuesdays in June. So you will still get the 4 weeks of classes. We are gearing them for June, and then we will add gearing them for June on Tuesdays, and then we will add other days as necessary so we can add more classes. This is also an excellent way to get started if your child is interested in doing chess and wants to join their chess club at school but has no experience. Sometimes it's when a chess club has been established, it's really hard for the coach to go all the way back to the beginning. And so it's really nice if the kids at least can probably get through pawn level, and then the other things, if they learn them in a different order, it's somewhat okay. And that, but at least understand what the pieces are and how they move and everything. So for that $89 per month, like I said, you get 4 weeks. If there's a 5th week and we're available, we will hold the 5th week, or it can be used as a makeup week if your child misses a class. As we add more classes, there will be makeups allowed. If we don't have enough space to add another class, then we'll probably add a time on a Saturday or another day where makeups can be held if someone has to miss a week or they're sick. Especially right now, we encourage that if you are not feeling well, that you don't attend class that day. We prefer if you let us know. ahead of time, but I understand you can't. So sometimes, so maybe just drop an email saying, we couldn't make it to class today, and that just so we know you didn't forget. The fees are billed monthly, so they would be due the first day of class for that month, and we would accept PayPal, Zelle, or cash. I actually would prefer PayPal or Zelle, but cash is fine. Um, might be able to accept checks, but I'd really prefer not to. But I understand for some people that's the best way. So for a check, I'd probably just prefer to get it a few days in advance. Um, Otherwise, if you have, oh, and included in that 89, of course, is your weekly lessons, also the online service. Periodically, I run free online tournaments, so you would be welcome to participate in those. When there are scholastic events, we will be attending them. And although Coach Matthew, who is one of our main instructors as well, since he will be in his senior year of high school, he also plays in some of the tournaments, but in between his rounds, he is more than willing to assess your child's games and go over it and provide pointers. And then he also offers private lessons, so let me know if you're interested in that. Once school gets started again, he will be kind of limited, and he does already have several taking private lessons. So, but during the summer, he's got a much more open schedule, of course. He is currently coaching the kid who was the first grade state champion this year at the Arizona state grade. And he was even selected, even though the kid was kindergarten state champion last year. So Coach Matthew helped him keep that record and get to victory this year. All of his kids who had been taking enough lessons to be ready for a tournament all qualified to play in the state tournament at the very first qualifier held. Unfortunately, of course, the regular state tournament was canceled due to the virus, but it was still great that 100% of them qualified. This, of course, does not include brand new kids who would not have been ready for a tournament to begin with. So he's got a pretty high success record. He plays for the Catalina Foothills High School chess team, which is one of the leading teams in the state of Arizona. He has experience playing in the nationals tournaments for the past 4 or 5 years. He plays in the National Open each year. The last couple years he's played in the World Open. He's ranked in the top 100 17-year-olds in the country. So you are in very good hands, and references can be provided. I am a second grade teacher. I've taught kindergarten and second grade over the last 11 years. Again, I am certified for CPR, first aid, all of that kind of stuff. I'm fingerprint clearance. I will generally be there as well in most cases. And occasionally we may have a substitute coach who we know well and is established in teaching chess. And that would be more if we had an out-of-state tournament, or the rare occasion we might have to leave town, or some sort of school event takes precedent where I work or where he goes to school. But in general, it will be us teaching the classes, and we look forward to it. So again, you've been looking at the slide with the information to register or even get further information. You can email me at molly@coyscampsandclasses.com, or call or text us at 520-349-7580 to schedule an initial chess consultation or to go ahead and register for class. Again, email me with any questions. You can also find us on facebook.com/A Tale of Two Kings or facebook.com/Camp Coy. Either one of those will work. Okay, we hope to hear from you really soon. Thank you, and have a great day or night, whatever it is when you may be listening to this. Thank you, and goodbye.